VTubers, a weird phenomenon of the internet consisting of polygon optimization, easy access to decently complex technology like face and motion tracking, and even lip syncing. For some reason, my Instagram feed has been increasing in VTuber appearances. My girlfriend has begun following some as well, and I'm not gonna lie, I've become a fan. And no, I'm not talking about the big names like Gargura or the other ones whose names I don't really know because I don't really follow that sphere of content. I'm talking about Chibidoki, Dayam Dahlia, or Picat. These creators, as far as I'm concerned, don't really do the roleplay game of VTubers as much as they just use it like a mascot for their content. I like this. I was already doing this. When I began doing my videos, I spent an extra couple of weeks working on my retro character. I modeled him, rigged him, and animated him. And that's where the problem lies. I cannot animate everything for this model and expect it to work. So I thought, maybe I can take advantage of the model and use it on VTubing software. And as I talked about this with my girlfriend, she told me, how about you make it better? And that's where we are. If you follow my content or watch my first video thumbnails, my character appears here a lot. And well, it's a very simple character. Truth be told, I've been using this persona and character ever since I was 17. When I created it, I just thought of how I would like to dress and what would make me look cool in my mind. Yeah, I was very limited on my wardrobe back then. Now, I just dress like this daily. But yeah, it's time to let retro go and do something better. I assume you might not have looked at my other video and I totally understand. It was a hard video to make. So, I'll be walking you through all of my workflow for designing my new VTubing model. On the list of my inspirations, we have persona at the forefront. Let me show you. No, I'm not ashamed. We all begin somewhere, and then we grow. But yeah, I like Persona and Joker and his inspiration on the Gentleman Thief. I also like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the Venn diagram in which they coexist. So, I'ma take it from there. I'll take the song identity inspiration from JoJo and take a song that I like. The song's name is El Rey Azul, or The Blue King, which does fit very nicely with Persona and the mid-century Victorian inspiration. As you can see in my inspiration images, I was looking for the idea of royalty, the vibrance of my favorite shades of blue, and some of that adventure-inspired noble aesthetic. I add some boots and gloves to my character. I give him this cloak with a very tall neck pointing outwards, and yeah, I already heard it from my girlfriend. I know it looks like a vampire, but wait until you see the end result. I was even more surprised. Another detail I decided to add was the gold outline, just to center the nobility. I also made a mask. I tried making my glasses, but yeah, they didn't work. So I decided to go for the Fire Emblem aesthetic and do something like Lucina's mask. It looks pretty decent. Also goes well with Victorian ballroom dances. Once I had my character's bust view and full body view, I outlined, colored, and exported to Blender. Making VTuber models is a painstaking process. I'm just jumping off from the fact that I know 3D modeling. I don't need to destroy myself by doing layers and adding bones to a 2D image for like the third time in my life, but if you know how to do that, you're free to do so. Optimization is the name of the game. I don't want to spend around 20 hours here. Spoiler alert. I'ma grab the model I've been repurposing for all of my videos and save myself the step of building a humanoid mesh. Then do the dumbest thing by getting rid of my reg. Well, I mean, it was inevitable, but I still wonder what could have been. I'm just gonna shape it to look like my character. This was by far the easiest thing I did in Blender. If only I could go back in time and stop myself from putting me through this suffering. No! Well, let's adjust these vertices. Wow! The base of my model is now done. All I need to do now is adjust the mesh of the clothes, which in my world is the equivalent of rocket science. Since it took me an extra hour to figure out how to extrude these jackets, cloak, and wouldn't you know it, the hair, again. Whoa, whoa, don't look at that! Look at this! And now, we enter the first circle of my own personal hell, the UV unwrapping. In past videos, I usually just let the time-lapse run on its own, but I should be honest with you, I lied when I said the rocket science part was just extruding the clothes. This part is. Look at all these meshes. Now look at my final texture. A huge difference. Wanna know what makes this difference? The equivalent of running from the ground to the moon. Seriously, I've never heard anyone talk about the people who arrange UV meshes for a living. They should have their name at the beginning of every game. Anyways, if you want some insight on how I do this, just try to get all of your similar meshes to be on the top of each other. That way you can just draw half a face, half the pants, well, just half of the model in general. That way you can save some space and take advantage of your textures. Here, I'm only using one texture at 2K. Then we go to the actually fun part, painting the texture. This was so therapeutic. It cured my 8 consecutive hours of headaches and even gave me energy to go for another 3 more. This is where arranging your UV meshes pays off. Just look at that beauty. Select the mesh, paint bucket, details, select the mesh, paint bucket, details. Yeah! Alright, I'll skip ahead. Sorry for being proud of my work. To be fair, my girlfriend did say that it looked like Arcane, and that it was as perfect as I could do it, which is the nicest thing she said about my work. Yes, I know I'm not that good, but a win's a win, and I got you to see more time-lapse. With this model done, I'm ready to give it a rig. Luckily, I'm very good at cheating, so I know how to export my model as a .fbx file, upload it to Mixamo, do this very simple setup, and have it rigged. Just maybe don't export it with a texture you're not sure if it's even gonna be visible. I literally just got lucky positioning these markers. But look at the bright side, my character is rigged and can even get some animations. If you do have the time, go to Mixamo and grab as many animations as you can. It's an awesome hack. Now that we're back in the Blender, I immediately begin correcting the weight paint on the model. Why? Is it because I don't trust the computer to replace me? Controversial! Or maybe because I hold all of my models to a high level of detail and perfection to give them the utmost performance? Well, no, I mean, yes, the second one, but people call it OCD. Also, I suck, most of the time, like this. I wanted to edit the weight paint on this cloak, but I realized I done messed up. My rig model does not have any texture or seam cuts. Who would have thought? Not me! Oh, damn. Well, luckily, I think I can transfer the weight paints and parenting to my texture model and avoid the mess. After reviewing my mesh, I found out that I don't need seam cuts! Somehow.
Palpatine returns.
No! Sorry about that. The texture and UVs are intact. They are not in the same format that Blender reads. So I can just take the UV from the texture and ba-boom! Problem fixed! Woo, I'm a bird! I'm flapping the wings! I need to finish this model right now. And now, my model is ready. No, wait. Now, it's ready. Yes, I forgot to model the mask. But hey, all I need to do now is just file the BRM add-on form and export it to try it on Vnyan. Look at these blend shapes. What a beautiful deformation. This moment makes it all worth it. When I'm finally testing this model and I see its perfection, I'll finally be able to rest. Right, so my model is finally done. It's already exported as a BRM model. It has the blend shapes. It has also the bones, and it's already textured. All I need to do now is to load my avatar. So I'm gonna go to that, and no, that's not the one that I wanted. You can see that I actually tried doing this with my other model. There we go. There we have the model. Ooh, it looks pretty nice. It does look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. After all this effort that I put into this whole thing, I am pretty satisfied with what I did. Now all I need to do is just track myself.
A few moments later.
There we go. For some reason it wasn't actually loaded. Oh, this is so confusing. Alright. Yay! Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that is very nice. Oh, that is awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna drop the hands. Now, what I need to do is... Wow, that is just so dumb. See how this looks... I'm wearing my headphones right now. I don't know why it's doing that. Hi, everyone. Oh, this is so funny. Look at that torso, man. Look at everything. I think it's mistaking my microphone for a hand. I think I'm gonna get rid of the hand tracking because that sucks. I'm so lost in this thing. I need to learn this whole thing.
2,000 years later.
So I went back in Blender and just checked a few things. So I made a new avatar. Turns out you have to go to the... What is it called again? You have to go under the expressions and then look for the morph target binds. Then you get your character and then you get the shape keys. That was very hard information for me to find. So yeah, you're welcome. I'm just gonna import my model again. Alright, so it has me... So it looks like it's tracking me. Alright, so my camera is looking directly at me right now. This looks so weird. It looks so funny. Oh my god. Like I was saying, my camera is atop my monitor. So I'm looking at the camera and I want to see how the model actually looks. So I keep looking down and it just registers that my eyes are closed. It's hard to do this. Oh god. I think it looks cool. I think it looks pretty funny. Yes. Right, that is funny. Yeah, I mean, it does have the eyes there. And yeah, actually, it's pretty cool because I'm wearing my glasses and it does seem to calculate everything. So that's pretty neat. I'm actually surprised. This was... One of my model looks so sassy. I'm sassy, man. Yeah, I don't care what you're telling me. No, I'm not listening. But yeah, it actually works. It works pretty fine. I can't see my model while I'm using it. It's such a mess. He's happy. He's happy. So yeah, I need a better camera, I think. So I guess I'm gonna be using this. Probably you already saw this throughout the video. Let me check how well it does. I am pretty confident to say that it does work very well. I just really do have to arrange my setup a little better. But yeah, this was actually pretty cool. I'm actually happy that I got to do this. I'm gonna be using this model way too often. I'm planning on actually streaming on Fridays. I don't know really what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to check that. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been pretty cool. And I'll be seeing you around, pals. That just looks so bad. Why did it look so bad? Well, yeah, that was it. I got a cool model, it works, and I should be ready to work better with this. So, as always, thank you very much for watching until the end. It really means a lot to me and the 20 hours invested. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment sim cuts so I can see whether or not my engagement works. Or not. I'm not your mom. Anyways, I'll see you around, pals.